there's a few topics that I get excited about. And this is something that I've been putting a tremendous amount of time and research into. It has pivoted the direction of my business. I'm learning more about this because this AI is such a tremendous opportunity. We're at the turning point. If you look back in history, and we talked about this at the seminar, this is like the difference from the agricultural age into the industrial revolution, probably tenfold of that. Back in the 90s, we saw the internet come to fruition, and a lot of people brushed it under the carpet and said, this is never going to take off. And here we are 20 years later, 30 years later, and our whole world is online. And the implementation of AI into your business, into your practice specifically, is an absolute game changer. So this is going to be something that definitely, and this is just an introductory call. Some of you are using Chat GPT already, but I'm going to show you some things I guarantee, even some of the things we're going to talk about today, will blow your mind. So let's get right into this. So this is how to use Chat GPT to grow, inspire, and scale your practice. Well, think of this, think of Chat GPT as your executive assistant. It is there 24/7, and its uses are getting so broad, and it's only growing. This thing never sleeps, it never forgets, it never loses enthusiasm. It can handle creative, administrative, and strategic tasks. And here's the thing, it frees up your time and your mental bandwidth and energy so you can focus on adjusting, leading, and inspiring your team, growing your practice. It seriously, if you use this effectively, will change your life. Personalize. Here's the first thing to remember is you need to personalize your Chat GPT. So some of you have a free Chat GPT account. If you haven't got a Chat GPT account, go in and open up a Chat GPT account. You can have a free account, and that gives you a tremendous amount of usages. You can get the paid account for $20 a month, which gives you a few more options, but you can do so much with just a free account. So personalize it. And I'm going to show you here because I'm going to escape this screen. I'm going to go into my Chat GPT, which is right here, and I want to show you this. So say you're in your Chat GPT portal, you go down to your profile. And if you haven't done this, I encourage you to do this because Chat GPT will base its answers on what it knows about you and what you're looking for. So if you click on your profile and you go here to personalization, you can start entering in details about you, and you can put in so many details. You can program ChatGPT to answer in a specific way. It can be witty, it can be straight shooting, it can be encouraging. There's so many different ways to do it. In fact, there's a whole list of different things: forward thinking, poetic, opinionated, think outside the box, think corporately. So there's different ways you can program ChatGPT to respond to your queries or questions. You can obviously put your personal information in there. You put your occupation, what you stand for, more about you, what your personal interests are. If you want to personalize this to your practice, put in your practice style, put in the way that you care for patients, put in the fact that you are a subluxation-based chiropractor or you're a therapeutic type of chiropractor. Whatever it is you do, put it in there, and ChatGPT will then support everything that you stand for. So this is really cool. So that's the first thing, is personalize it to you, and you'll get much more strategic answers. The first thing that I would suggest you do, and we talked about this, a year ago at our seminar, is help ChatGPT to create a vision and a mission for your office. Most of you don't have your mission statement up on your wall. And I'm going to tell you, this is such an important part of practice growth. So if you don't have this done yet, if you haven't clearly defined what your vision, mission, and core value statement is, that is a must. And here's why. This creates a foundation for what you stand for. And allowing ChatGPT to understand who you are, it will base its responses and its conversation on that mission statement. You can load it right into ChatGPT. So have it help you create this mission statement. Put it on your wall, have it visible, get a frame, make a poster, whatever it is, but have it visible. Because here's the thing, that creates an energy for your office, whatever it is. And it has to be personal to you, but it creates an energy for your office, and it's going to attract the type of people who resonate with that mission and vision statement to your practice. So what happens is you start to recruit patients who fit into your mission. And wow, isn't it fun when you can practice by caring for a bunch of people who completely resonate with your core values? You're not working outside the box. You're not delivering pain relief when in the back of your mind it drives you crazy to be doing soft tissue therapy on somebody because that's totally outside of your core values. So use ChatGPT to create this mission and vision statement. I can't tell you how important it is and how valuable this can be. And you can refine it. Have a discussion with ChatGPT. In fact, I'm going to show you right now. This is actually really cool. I've actually, and I love having discussions with ChatGPT. So if you go to your main page in ChatGPT, you go down here where it says ask anything. Now you can type something in. You can use the microphone to do a voice translation. It'll translate your voice and then turn that into script. Or you can press on this little button here. And I've programmed mine to be a female's voice named Juniper. And I talk to her daily. So I bring up Juniper here and I say, good morning, Juniper.
Good morning, Colin. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. Let me know if there's anything I can help with.
Juniper, I'm on a call with a bunch of chiropractors here who really want to use ChatGPT to grow their practice. What very specific statement can you say that's going to encourage them to start exploring what ChatGPT can do for them?
Absolutely. You could say something like ChatGPT can revolutionize your practice by streamlining patient communication, automating routine tasks, and providing personalized patient education, all of which can save you time and enhance patient satisfaction. It's a powerful tool to help you grow and thrive in today's digital landscape. That should definitely spark some interest.
Juniper, you're awesome. Thanks very much.
You're so welcome, Colin. I'm always happy to help. If you need anything else, just let me know.
So I have conversations with her and she gives me feedback on all kinds of different things. If I have a personal issue that I'm dealing with based on what I've entered into ChatGPT and my history of conversations, she can answer me and give me feedback in a very, very specific way. So it's a great tool to use if you haven't started using that. So let's go back to this. So your obviously your vision, mission, core value statement, um, draft motivational messages for your morning huddle. So I can't tell you enough. If you're not coming prepared for huddles, start doing that. And this is if you do one thing after today's call, just do this. Bring an inspirational message for your team to every single huddle, or at least every single day. You can start developing staff meeting scripts that inspire action. And here's the result is that you start leading with clarity and purpose and culture. And creating this culture in your office only allows your office to start to grow based on the direction you want it to grow. Team training and empowerment. So here's where we start creating onboarding manuals. Now, most of you don't have a onboarding manual or a staff manual in place. This is a great opportunity to use ChatGPT to start doing that. So start doing training guides. You can actually take the transcripts from our training off of our website portal for our clients. You can get those transcripts, the PDF versions. You can upload them into ChatGPT and say, analyze these transcripts and give me a condensed version in a very natural manner in your own words to make my training manual. And ChatGPT will start summarizing those day one, day two, day three manuals in a very usable fashion. So you can enter that into your staff meeting notes or your staff manual. You can start having phone scripts made by ChatGPT and maybe set the tone. So, in other words, tell ChatGPT that patients are calling for this type of problem. Develop a phone script for this type of issue and share that with your team. Patient conversation templates. You can start developing high converting care plans, details, and payment options. So you start having conversations with ChatGPT to let ChatGPT know that this is what we deliver. We're a corrective care chiropractic office. We like to focus on spinal correction. We're X-ray dependent. We use techniques that are corrective dependent techniques. They're diversified techniques, Thompson techniques, whatever. Be very specific. We use home care. We have therapies, spinal corrective therapies in our office that patients engage in. We'd like to monetize those programs, develop a care plan that's going to be a high converting care plan. So the majority of people will look at it and say it's very valuable and want to convert, but make them very profitable. And you can have that conversation and see what it comes up with, and then you can refine it. You can start programming patient objections and use those patient objections for training, for role play training, and actually have that conversation. So I could go back to Juniper and say, I want you to be a patient that's coming to a chiropractic office, and I want you to have this type of symptom, and I want you to have these type of objections. And let's have a conversation based on our day one script. And you can actually role play with Chat GPT, and Chat GPT will talk back to you as if it is that patient. It's absolutely brilliant. So the whole thing is that it just helps you train your and build your skills. Um, SOP creation, so standard operating procedure creation. So you want to make sure your office is very systematized. Brian and I talk about this all the time, is that we see the successful offices, no matter what type of chiropractic care you're delivering. If you're in the profession of chiropractic, whether you want to deliver in a corrective care model, or whether you're doing decompression, or whether you're providing soft wave or therapies, or whether you're doing functional medicine, it's to be able to scale and see masses of people have a big impact on people's lives, be transforming and be profitable, retain a team that you can compensate very well. You have to have good systems in place. So using ChatGPT to help you build those systems is really, really valuable. And here's a great little tool. So let's say you have your staff meetings or you do your trainings, which if you're not, I encourage you, make sure you put those in on a regular basis. Use what's called the camcorder method. You film them, and you can have a staff member do this. Doesn't take long. So you film your training every week. You film your training. You take that training, you upload it, and even if you just upload it into YouTube, you can get the transcript. YouTube will actually give you the transcript of that training. You copy that transcript, you paste it into Chat GPT, and say, summarize this transcript of our training and make it into a standard operating procedure. And then you can constantly refine it. You do that for every staff meeting and say, I want to build a library of our staff meetings. Take the transcript for your staff meeting after you upload the video and build that into a library of staff meetings. It is like, this is taking your mom and pop shop practice and building it into a corporate business, these types of strategies. And it's amazing the return that you'll have by doing this. So you start building checklists. So you take your standard operating procedure, put it into ChatGPT, say, build me a checklist for my staff to make sure that they check off. And then you have consistent procedures that happen every day. You can start creating templates for your reporting, for your stats, for your billing and scheduling, and ChatGPT will start to analyze those stats and then give you feedback based on them. And you just develop consistent office policies in your scripts. So if you're trying to develop your own scripts based on the templates that we provide for you, you can use ChatGPT to refine those scripts. Just upload the PDF and say, we want to define our scripts. And then once they come out, say, hey, I want you to change this into more of a compassionate feel. And you can tell the emotion that you want to have through those, and it'll reword it in the way that you want. Here's another great thing to use. So we can start mapping the patient journey from first call to lifetime care. So I have a PowerPoint that I developed over the years that we've used at seminars that talks about right from the first phone call that patient makes and what should happen. What should happen on the entry from day one, what the CA should say, what happens from the exit of day one, what happens during the exam. And you can start using ChatGPT to map that journey, put that into your standard operating procedures so that when you have a new associate or when you have a new team member, they can have a high level view of what happens when a patient comes in the door. This is exactly the way that we deliver chiropractic to our patients. And then it becomes consistent. And here's the thing, if everybody on your team can see it from that level, imagine the camaraderie and the consistency that your office can then provide to those patients. So you can start writing scripts for consults, for reports, for reactivations. You can use ChatGPT to create milestone celebration emails and texts. This is a big one. And this is a great tool for retention. If you just went to ChatGPT and said, hey, I want you to create a system where I can send either emails, text messages, gifts, awards, anything to reward the patient for their engagement and consistency in being a practice member within my practice. And it'll give you all kinds of ideas on when and how to reward that patient so that they feel like they're part of your practice. They feel like a valued practice member. They feel like a VIP. And man, does that ever skyrocket your retention. Okay. And then the other thing is you can use ChatGPT to create retention strategy communication. So in other words, what and when do I need to say to those patients to help them to remind them that this is a lifetime commitment? And especially if you're getting people dropping off in the middle of their care plan, not completing their care plan, if they're getting towards the end of their care plan, you're getting that question like, hey, how many visits do I have left? So these are signs that this would be a great thing to start implementing into your practice, and using ChatGPT can help you to do that. So patient education, here's a few little techniques and tips that you can use for patient education. Now it's easy to create monthly newsletters, especially if ChatGPT has the background and the history of who you are and what you stand for. You can start creating congruent and consistent monthly newsletters and educational posts. You can start writing short video scripts for your social media. So if you're doing any type of online advertising, and obviously, I mean, for us, we share video scripts with each client. But if you wanted to create something unique that's based on your personality or how you want to deliver, you can start having the conversation with Juniper, go in and say, hey, I'm a chiropractor and I want to deliver, or I want to create a script for my social media ads that is compassionate, but it's unique and different than every other chiropractor. I don't want it to be symptom based. And you can describe exactly what you want, and it'll give you all kinds of options for that script. You record it into your phone, and there you go. It's a simple way to create great interaction and really create your personal brand in the community, so people recognize you as being something unique and different. You start building frequently asked question handouts for your team. So you can just go in and ask ChatGPT, hey, give me the most common 20 questions that chiropractic patients would have for their front desk CA or for the chiropractor, and have those questions, and then ask ChatGPT to give me an appropriate answer based on what we deliver in our chiropractic office. You can simplify concept. Here's a really cool one, and I put this in here. The 33 principles is the foundation for our philosophy in chiropractic. Most chiropractors have no clue what the 33 principles are. They graduate from school, they've never been introduced to the 33 principles. And when you start looking at the philosophy books and reading the 33 principles, it can be a little mind-boggling when you look at it. You start looking at the force and the matter, and the intelligence, the triune of life, these types of things. It can be a little mind-boggling and a little weird when you start talking about it in the actual text that it's written. Load those 33 principles into ChatGPT and say, give me scripts, or give me a way, or summarize these 33 principles into everyday language so that I can share them with patients on an easy way. Talk like a fifth grader. Tell it to talk like a fifth grader and share this message with people. It's unbelievable what you'll read and come up with. And you can use that now in your doctor's report to share the philosophy of chiropractic and what you stand for. And again, here's another great thing, is you can start to create table talk, topics, and stories. So instead of going into the room when every patient's ready to be adjusted and ask them how they're doing, now you can have a list of 10 or 12 ways to come in and start addressing them with, maybe it's a story, or maybe it's something unique, or maybe it's something to take their mind off of the symptomatic relief and put it onto above down, inside out thinking. ChatGPT will do that for you. I'm going to show you something else here. This is, again, another brilliant thing that I'm sure you've probably never seen for most of you. So we go back to ChatGPT here. And if you go to your ChatGPT and you go over here to the left side of the screen, you go to Explore. And I already have mine pinned, but you're going to have all kinds of apps that fit into ChatGPT. It's just like when you go to the iPhone, you can go to the App Store and you can download an app that will do a certain function for you. ChatGPT now has a whole bunch of these apps. I love this Scholar GPT. So I've actually pinned this on the side here. So if you go to Scholar GPT, I'm on the left side of the screen here, right? So I go down here where it says GPTs and I go to Explore. And if you go to Explore, you'll bring up all these different apps, okay? And there's tons of apps, just like I mentioned, just like the iPhone has a whole bunch of different apps. But I love this Scholar GPT. So like I said, I've pinned this over here. So Scholar GPT has been programmed to find studies and research papers on anything. So let's just say you want to know, you say to Scholar GPT, show me studies on chiropractic and what? Give me something. Chiropractic and go ahead. So what'd you say, Steve?
Immune system.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So immunity. So chiropractic and immunity. So I type in, show me studies on chiropractic and immunity. I hit enter, or I go over here and hit enter. And so it's going to go search now, and it searches the database. And here it's got chiropractic manipulation, but it's going to have all kinds of different suggestions and options on different studies of how chiropractic is related to immune function. And now it's going to start listing those studies, the authors, the journal that it's in, and you can ask for a list of 20 or 10 or whatever that is, and it'll just keep going. So this is so cool. And I use this now for so many different things. So let's just say you have a patient who comes in with a very unusual problem. Maybe it's psoriasis. Maybe it's something like Crohn's disease, whatever that is. Something that doesn't necessarily always present to a chiropractic office. And you're not really sure how to make sure that patient is confident with the way that you deliver chiropractic. Here you go. Go to Scholar GPT, look up some of these studies, read a couple of them, become familiar with them. Maybe you can share them with the patient to give you some credibility on how you're going to address that patient. So this is absolutely so brilliant. So Scholar GPT, I would suggest pin that app to your GPT, and you can use that all the time. So you can see now I'm getting a whole list of studies happening here. So we'll go to the next one. So now Chat GPT, creating additional income streams. This is where it can get really fun. And this is where I want you guys, and we always talk about it with all my clients that I talk to when we get on coaching calls. My goal is to help you think like an entrepreneur. And it's really important because I see this is one of the big downfalls in our profession is that students graduate from chiropractic school, chiropractic college, with the knowledge to pass their boards. And that's it. You're a great diagnostician. In many cases, now you got to go learn to adjust. You have to go learn how to communicate with patients. You have to learn, and there's nothing taught at this point on how to run a business. So my goal is to help you guys take your mom and pop shop chiropractic practice where you've created a job for yourself. Okay, essentially, as you get busier, you just spend more time because you're implementing your time for money. You've created a job for yourself. Start to think like an entrepreneur. And this will help you do that. So if you start talking to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm a chiropractor, this is what I do, these are the number of people I see a week, this is my collection level right now, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to free up some of my time, I want to create my practice to more like a business, help me to do that. What do I need to do? So you can start thinking about maybe you want to create a wellness membership program where you have like an inner circle of patients where they're paying you a monthly fee to be part of your inner circle. And maybe you do a group coaching call on a weekly basis for those specific members. Maybe you partner with other facilities or providers in your area. Maybe it's a gym, maybe it's like a grass-fed beef provider, like a grass-fed farm, a holistic farm. Maybe it's a holistic nutritionist, and everybody that's in your inner circle then receives a discount to all these services. This is where you start having a lot of fun as an entrepreneur in your practice, and it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time, and people want to pay you for it above and beyond what they're paying for the services of chiropractic. So you can use ChatGPT to design this wellness membership program. And I've always said that you definitely need to have a high level care plan, a high ticket care plan. And that's a great anchor for people so that when they start for chiropractic care, if you can have a $15,000, $16,000 care plan that includes everything, it includes nutritional consulting, it includes admission to your inner circle, it includes your chiropractic care, and then they can look at that and say, well, no, that's not what I want. Then your $3,000 care plan looks easy. Like it's an easy yes. But if you're coming in with your first care plan as your main care plan, that's why you're getting, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. Oh, that seems like a lot to me. Oh, can I go home and think about it? That's what happens. So anchor it to something greater. And this is a great way to anchor it to this all-inclusive membership program that people will love. And you're going to have people join up because they just they've already built the trust in you. You can use ChatGPT to start to develop online health courses and ebooks. This is a great way. So, if you're passionate about pediatric chiropractic, build an ebook that you can share with your patients about how to take care of your child without medical assistance. Keep them off drugs, keep them off shots and vaccines. Feed them natural food, promote breastfeeding, whatever that may be. You can use ChatGPT to develop this ebook, and it can be saleable. You can either share it with your practice members or you can launch it and sell it. There's all kinds of different ways to do this. You can start to write sales copy for your supplements. Take your supplements, and many of you don't even know the benefits of a lot of the supplements that are on your shelf. Take the supplements, take the ingredient label and take a picture of it, upload the picture to ChatGPT and say, analyze this picture explain to me exactly what each of the ingredients of this supplement does, and tell me the best benefits for the supplement. And then you can go and say, okay, after you do that, create a sales copy for this supplement, or create a flyer for the supplement. And then you can start creating automated marketing messages, like give me 12 emails that promote this supplement that then you can start sharing with your practice members. And all you need to do is sit with a team member who's interested in doing this, and maybe an hour a week. And next thing you know, you have a whole marketing program that's going to start to build this aspect of your practice. So you start gaining new revenue. You start building your practice into a business without you spending more time, or without you needing to be there. Here's another thing. So community outreach and events. So you can start writing proposals. So use ChatGPT to write proposals for corporate wellness partnerships. So let's just say in a 30-minute, you go to ChatGPT and say, give me all the companies in a 30-minute radius from my office that have 50 or more employees. Okay, so it's going to give you the list of companies. Write a series of emails, make it specific for each of those companies, and introduce me as a corporate wellness partner, that I will come in and offer these services. Talks on nutrition, talks on stress. We could do ergonomic workshops. And you could even say to ChatGPT, write a proposal for me to be able to be their corporate wellness partner or doctor, that's going to give an offer for services at a fee. So they will pay you, and maybe you'll go in quarterly, and maybe they're going to pay you $10,000 a year just to go in, and that's going to give you access. And maybe even in that offer, it's going to say that all of their employees that come to the workshops will have the option to come into your office at a very reduced cost or for free as part of that proposal. It's a great way to start creating community partnerships, but use it to your advantage. And here's the other thing. When you start having events in your office, generate catchy event names. So come to my nutrition talk is really like boring. Holy smokes, boring. Thank you. No, thank you. But if you started using ChatGPT to say, hey, I'm having a nutrition talk, let's make it really fancy. I want to learn about, or I want to teach about thyroid problems or hormone problems or weight loss resistance. It's going to come up with some really unusual and catchy names where you can say, hey, come to our happy hormones talk. And then all of a sudden you gain this interest. So start using it to your advantage there. And then when you start going to these events, whether it's lunch and learns or corporate things, all you start doing is captivating email addresses and names, contacts. You load this into ChatGPT. You can hook it up to your Google Sheets, and it'll create a spreadsheet for you. And you can say, like you can connect this to a lot of different things, and it can create an email chain for you for follow-ups on those leads that you collect at any of those workshops. So like I said, guys, the possibilities for this are endless. Just start learning about what it can offer for you. But there's so many easy things to use right away. So marketing lead generation, you can start writing your Facebook and Instagram ads, generate some high converting offers for your advertising, create automated email follow-up sequences. I mean, a lot of you have marketing companies that do this stuff for you already, but if you're not using one, you can spend the time to do this. Draft blog posts to boost your SEO, GEO, and credibility. Here's the thing. If you're still paying for SEO services, honestly, you're wasting your money. You can do this very easily. There's AI programs and agents that will do this for you at a minimal of the cost. And here's the thing. More and more people are using now AI instead of Google to do searches. And in fact, most of you'll go say, give me the best chiropractor in Winnipeg, and you go to ChatGPT and it'll give you a list. So if you're still paying for SEO services, you're missing out on that. That's what GEO is, generalized engine optimization. So that's where you really need to start thinking about that, because there's different ways to make yourself more known in your community, and using AI to do that is really useful. Time freedom and automation. So here's the thing, and you can connect this to your calendar. So you can say, hey, ChatGPT, give me a weekly reminder on Thursday that our chiropractic group call happens at that time, and remind me at 10 o'clock in the morning instead of 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So it can connect, and you can just talk to ChatGPT and say, hey, do this for me. Like I said, it's your executive assistant, and it'll automatically do that. You can start drafting templates for your reviews, reports, and communications, summarize books, trainings, meetings. Let's say you go to a seminar and you take your notes, And let's say those notes are obviously typed out. In fact, I would even say it could analyze your handwritten notes. If you scan those handwritten notes, upload them as a PDF into Chat GPT, it'll analyze your handwritten notes. But even if you take those seminar notes, upload them into Chat GPT, say, summarize these and give me action steps based on the notes that I took from the seminar, it's amazing what you'll come up with. So you just start saving hours a week by automating these repetitive tasks. So just remember, here's the thing, is that ChatGPT, it's not just another search engine. It's not replacing you. It's just replicating your excellence. So, and again, the whole purpose of doing this is I want you guys to start thinking like a CEO. Using technology to your advantage is so valuable for your practice. It'll save you time. Now, I know the learning curve can be daunting, and some of you are like, oh gosh, this is so confusing. But as you get into it, it becomes very, very simple, and it's changing all the time. So just be aware of it. So just leverage the AI to magnify your impact, and you can start to build a practice that thrives even when you're not there. So here's a little bonus I put in, and this is something that you can go in and you can ask Juniper on a daily basis. Okay, so just start asking, and you can go to your Chat GPT, hit the microphone button, talk into your phone. What are 3 areas of my practice that I should focus on improving this week? And see what it comes up with. And then say, okay, you can upload your stats. Again, take a PDF of your stats or a spreadsheet of your stats. And I hope you guys are taking stats, your day 1s, your day 2s, your day 3s, and so on. Analyze these stats, show me where the breakdowns are in my practice. Upload your monthly revenue and say, over the last year, and say, give me revenue trends, talk to me about what I should focus on to increase my revenue over the next year. Write a motivational message for my team this week. So just go to Chat GPT, write a motivational message for my team this week, something that you can take to huddles. And here's a great one. Give me 10 ideas for patient appreciation events. And I guarantee it'll come up with something that you've never, ever thought of. So start just being creative with this. So next steps, and again, like I said, this can be daunting. Just pick one area. Like maybe it's marketing, maybe it's training, creating your standard operating procedures and your systems, whatever that is, and ask ChatGPT to start building that process or that script and just see what it comes up with. And then you can start refining it. And if you start customizing your ChatGPT, like I said, the first thing is to go in there and show it who you are, build your personality, and it'll start talking to you. It sounds a little weird, but it'll become your best friend because it really understands who you are and what you want to build. So, and here's the thing, train your team to use it daily. Here's the thing, AI's not going to replace people, but it will replace people who don't use AI. If people can start to understand how AI can make their job more efficient and easy, they're going to thrive in this marketplace. Imagine this, like you take somebody like Juniper, take my ChatGPT Juniper, and give Juniper all of the prompts and all of the information to actually work at your front desk. So Juniper can now receive calls. Juniper can make calls. And this is actually happening. This is technology that's happening now. So she can be my front desk assistant. She can make calls. She can receive calls. She can follow up with text messages. She can send voice call reminders. She can reschedule appointments and integrate with my my software, my Atlas or Genesis or whatever it is you're using. And she can actually do all these things instead of my front desk person. I mean, imagine, and she does it 24/7 on the weekends, 11 o'clock at night, 4 in the morning, whatever. She's always happy. She never is miserable. I can train her on every single question. Wow, what a huge advancement for if she can just be that person that answers the phone, and I can have the rest of my team focusing on personalized patient interaction and growth when they're in the office. Wow, like that's going to not only save me money, but that's going to really, really help grow my practice. That's where it's going. So, so get familiar with this. And here's the last thing. When you start interacting with ChatGPT, you're going to find out what the best prompts are. And you can actually ask ChatGPT, I want to build a standard operating procedure, or I want to build a manual, a staff manual. Give me a list of questions or prompts to ask you, ChatGPT, on the best ways to build this. And it'll actually give you the questions to prompt it to ask. And you can refine those questions and probably stuff that, again, you didn't think about. So Guys, I hope this is helpful. This is just the beginning. Like, this is just the surface. This goes so much deeper than that, but at least get familiar with it. I can't encourage you enough.